I knew that I wasn't going to make it through the season because Vince and Peter and Melissa Bernstein called me before the season to say, hey, give us a call. So when I called them, Vince said to me, he goes, well, hey, I just want to let you know we found something really great for Howard. The writers are real excited, but it also means that you and your family is going to maybe be able to take a vacation a little bit sooner this season than usual. And so that's all he told me. So I knew that I was going to make an exit. I did not know how until I read the episode. We had already shot 5. I think we were working on number 6. And then we got the script delivered to us, and I read through it, and it plays exactly as I read. I mean, I was reading through it, I'm like, wow, look how chatty Howard has a lot to do. He's singing everything. Mm-hmm. And then, of course, I come back and I see Jimmy and Kim in their apartment. And then on the page, it reads exactly as it plays. The candle glows again. And then half a page later, the end of episode. And I was like, what? Blown away.
Seeing you and Lalo in the same room together, despite it being the same series, it felt like a weird crossover episode because those two worlds have not like 100% converged up to that point. Was that your first time like really working with Tony Dalton or anybody on the cartel side of things?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I went hiking with Michael Mando and I went hiking with Tony Dalton. We played and stuff like that. Of course,
I saw that picture a couple days
after. Jonathan Banks and I are good friends, and Giancarlo Esposito, you know, we all hung out. But I never worked with them on set. And that was part of the reason that Vince and Peter and Melissa and the writers were so excited, because they were trying to figure out, you know, they had this show that basically had parallel lines, 2 different worlds, and how was it going to... When they came across this, they were like, oh, this is great. Because to your point exactly, now the cartel and the lawyers have crossed inexorably. And beautifully, because up until then, all of Jimmy and Kim's sort of hijinks came without consequences. And in the span of half a page, literally unintended consequences of your actions are lying there physically at their feet. And I think that was a message that they wanted to send, because, you know, in that last monologue that Howard has, he basically gets to speak for a lot of the people who've been watching for a while, right?
Right.
Why are you doing this? Why are you doing this, guys? And then he also nails them. He's the only one in the entire series who actually knows it. He knows exactly what's going on. He explains it to Cliff, and Cliff may or may not believe him, but even Cliff says, even if it's true, it doesn't matter. They've won. So when I go to them and I lay it all out for the audience, I think the audience finally gets to be like, yes, somebody asked him this. Why are you doing this? What's going on? Ooh, boom, 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 boom. And then my reward for knowing all that, just like the audience, is that violent end. And then I think that shocks the audience. And I think that was the whole point, was to sort of abruptly bring it back to reality for the audience of like, who are you rooting for? It's not going to work out the way you think it's going to work out. There are consequences to what's going on here. It's not all fun and games.
It definitely worked in that way because there were 2 completely different thresholds of violence between the lawyer scenes and the cartel scenes. Like you see Nacho, you know, go out the way that he did. It's tragic and it's sad and it's, you know, a fantastic scene. But you also kind of saw it coming. You knew Nacho was going to meet his fate.
He wasn't going to make it out alive.
It wasn't a shocking image, but seeing like you kind of fall over, hit your head on the counter, and then fall back down. And then at the end, like get buried next to your killer under where we watched.
Under the lab.
Yeah, under where we watched multiple seasons of Breaking Bad, and now that's completely recontextualized. It's like, holy fucking shit. Like, I had no idea.
Yeah, no, that was great. I remember we were in the pit, Tony and I, and
so it wasn't a body double. It was actually you laying there.
Oh yeah, that was us laying in there. They didn't throw us. We let stunt people get thrown into the pit, but that was us down there. And that's weird when you're all made up dead. And of course, I had to be more dead than Tony because I was not a fresh kill.
Yeah.
And we're lying in there, and Vince looks down and he goes, I don't know if the fans are going to forgive me for this one. Ouch. He walked away.
I've never met Vince, and I'm still kind of mad at him.
Yeah, I know.